As this crisis moves on, you find then Queen Esther moving on and making a decision to risk her life, making a decision to take up the challenge to save her people and to go to the king without appointment, which was a quite dangerous thing in that kingdom. But she went to the king, she took it up and went to the king, put on a royal apparel. And when she gets to the king, again she obtains favor. She obtains favor in the eyes of the king.
Shalom, precious stones. My name is Shammah, and today I just want to share from the prophetic word that Mom preached about Esther in the year 2023. Esther is such a beautiful story about God's love and deliverance. It tells a greater story of deliverance and love that God has for us. So now, Mom did share about Esther deciding to go to the king, how risky it was, and how she obtained favor. It speaks to Esther's character, it speaks to her charisma, it probably even speaks to her personality. So Esther really is a beacon of what we ought to be like in terms of our character and personality. We ought to be people who are lovable, lovely, people who are nice to be around. You can imagine how many women had been taken into this harem that the king had called for. And to be chosen amongst that many, first of all, you're competing at the same level. All of them are virgins, all of them are beautiful, all of them have been handpicked, right? And you're competing in this very competitive environment. What makes you stand out, right, is something that really often when people hear that, they rush to their accomplishments. I'm a master's degree, I'm a degree holder, I have this and that, I've got this in my CV or not, whatnot. Whereas when we hear when God was choosing a king and sent Samuel to choose a king, Samuel was looking at the physical resume of these boys, but God rebuked Samuel and said, I do not look at the outward appearance, I look at the heart. So you can see how important our personality is, how important our character is. There's a saying that says, people do not care how much you know, they want to know how much you care. People won't remember what you do for them, they'll remember how you make them feel. And so it's important that we are cognizant of how we make people feel. I believe it is something so small like getting into an environment, learning the environment, learning the people. We've been taught to be decent, sober. We've been taught to be women of noble character. We can obtain favor, like Esther obtained favor, just by focusing our attention, being conscious, being very intentional about how we present ourselves in terms of our character and personalities, in terms of who we are on the inside. Remember, God looks inward and rewards outward, but he looks inward. So we see a very great example of noble character in Queen Esther, and I'm hoping that we learn from this. I'm learning from this. And some things we can really intentionally work on to say, I'm going to change how I respond. I'm going to change how I speak. I'm going to change how I react. I'm going to change the energy that I'm bringing into a room. If I'm upset, I don't want everybody around me to feel, you know how sometimes in the Shona culture we say, we can change and be women who are sweet to be around, women whom people feel comfortable around, whom attract favor, because we've learned in this specific story that we can obtain favor by being of noble character.